You ever wonder why almost everyone who diets ends up regaining the weight they lost? It's because they overlook the single most critical factor that most strongly predicts long-term weight loss success. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the single most important thing that you can do today to make losing fat so much easier and how to finally break the cycle of losing and gaining the same weight over and over again. To start, let me show you how to get in great shape if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you don't have the same bandwidth you once had to work out and eat healthy like you were in your 20s. To help you understand this, I want to tell you about my dad. My dad took me to the gym when I was a kid and he showed me how to use the weight room and do a bunch of exercises, which was cool. It made it more fun for me. Now that my dad's almost 60, he still goes to the gym a few days per week. He's not as ripped as he was when he was 40 something, but here's the cool part. He's a big travel guy. He'll go to Mexico and go on surf trips. He went to Brazil and swim with dolphins and all this awesome stuff, and he looks great. He's also a big foodie. Him and his friends will have pasta nights. He loves his wine. He goes out for dinner, and he's got a healthy body composition. He's in great shape by all accounts. So what does all this have to do with you? The reality is that being in great shape doesn't have to mean being ripped and being 10% body fat. It's not about eating out of Tupperwares and grinding your fasted cardio every morning. It's about being happy with the way your body looks and feels. It's about being able to go play pickleball or being able to coach your son's soccer game or go up and down the stairs without getting out of breath. There's no one-size-fits-all solution here. You might love barbell training and you really want to get your squat up, you want to get your bench press up, or you want to be able to do a chin up. Whatever your goals are, that's cool. Just make it your own. Make sure you're not comparing yourself to some random standard like a Men's Health magazine cover model or some bullshit like that. You'll be way more excited to stick to the process and crush your workouts if you know that you're training for a motorbike trip that you have upcoming in Peru, which is one of the goals of a guy in our group fat loss program. Now that you know that, let me show you how to build motivation instead of just waiting for it to show up so you can actually get started on this. Check out this toilet paper roll. If I come into the gym here and I take one square off this toilet paper roll, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference. Even if I come in here for a week or a month and take one square off at a time, you're probably not going to see much change in how this toilet paper looks. But if I do that every day for 6 months, this thing's going to be substantially smaller. And that's the power of small, consistent actions. These tiny little things we do add up over time to make a big result. And the same thing is true with losing fat and losing body weight. You might feel a little demotivated because you have 30, 50, or 100 pounds to lose. But there's no point in even worrying about that 28th pound that you need to lose because it's not even available to you right now. Instead, I want you to just focus on losing your first pound this week. And take it seriously. Be ruthless about it. Make it a line item. Put it in your calendar. Give yourself a 1-week deadline. Do whatever it takes to lose that first pound, and then next week you can worry about that second pound. The reality is you don't need motivation to feel excited about weight loss. You need momentum. You need to get started. Okay, now that you know that, let me show you the single biggest predictor of your ability to lose fat and keep it off long term. To help you understand, I'm going to tell you a story of a 10-day silent meditation retreat I did when I was younger. So I saw this thing online and I drove out to the middle of nowhere in Washington State, and you couldn't read, you couldn't write, you can't look anyone in the eye, touch anybody for 10 days straight, and you just meditate for 12 hours a day. First, I was driving myself insane because all these thoughts were coming up in my head, and I was thinking about work, and I was thinking about women, and all this shit that was going on in my life at the time, and I couldn't focus on the meditation. It was driving me nuts. But you literally couldn't leave your room or do anything for 12 hours a day. You were just sitting there focusing on the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your nostrils. And for 3 days, I thought it was a huge waste of money that I went down there, and I honestly considered going and talking to the staff and just saying, hey, give me my keys back, I'm done. But on the third day, the instructor gave a lesson that blew my mind. He's like, yo, this is how meditation goes. You do great, you focus on the breath, you get into a bit of a zone, and then thoughts pop up in your head, and you're like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. What about work? Oh, I have to go to the dentist, I have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, wait a sec, hold on. And then you come back to the breath. And that's the practice. That's how it goes. And just hearing that was a bit of a light bulb moment for me to realize, okay, hold on. Everyone goes through this. Everyone has these thoughts that come up, they get derailed, and then you just get back on track. And that's all part of it. And I want you to realize that losing body weight and losing body fat is exactly the same. There's gonna be periods of time where you slip up and you go over your calories for a day, for a week, for a month, for a year. And the single best thing you can do when that happens is just return to the process. You've got so many new skills on your side, you've got a bunch of progress behind you, and you can just get right back at it and pick up where you left off. I don't care if you've been eating unhealthy and out of the gym for 5 days or 5 years, all it takes for you to get back on track is one meal, one walk outside, one workout, that's all. And then you're back at it and you can start again. There's zero benefit to beating yourself up about how good you could have been if things were perfect. Just expect that there's gonna be slip-ups. You're not gonna be perfect. And when you realize you've gone off track, just get right back at it. And if you want a more detailed guide to learn how I'd lose fat as fast as possible for a vacation or something like that, then watch this video next.